This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks took another loss at home. They're now 2-4 at home. I don't know if you want to say they really battled or not. I guess they battled, but let's put it like this. They made timely shots, but could not get timely stops. We're all going to complain about the foul call on Obi Toppin, and the overturn was a bad call. I agree. Yet still, we could not get stops. They hit 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 down the stretch. And it wasn't Giannis. It wasn't Drew Holiday. It was Grayson Allen. It was Connaughton. They knocked them down. Shot after shot after shot. Again, our perimeter defense proves to be our Achilles heel. The first unit, 38 points from the first unit. 38 points. 2 from Kemba Walker. 2 from Evan Fournier. We're not going to win games that way. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. We said a long time ago, at the beginning of the season, if Derrick Rose has to score 22, 23, 24, 25 points, there's something wrong with the team. And there's something wrong with that first unit. They're struggling to build chemistry. And with the way that that first unit is built, you cannot have Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier having terrible nights on the same night, because that puts all the pressure on RJ and Randall. All the pressure. It's a tough game. We got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to talk about. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that they came back down 24 points. They came back and tied it at 89. Great. That's good. It was the bench that came back. Starters got us in that hole. A lot to talk about in this one, ladies and gentlemen. I got my man Josh here. We're going to break this down. Talk about some stuff. Josh, what's poppin' with you, man? How are you feeling after this one? The Knicks lose 112-100 to the Milwaukee Bucks. A lot of stats to go over, too. But how you feeling about this one?
Salute, Sam. Salute, MBK panel. Salute. Well, it's just me and you. Salute the chat.
Everybody else is depressed right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm depressed, too. I feel terrible. I just want to, a couple of things stand out for me. Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, where is the net positive? Where is the upgrade? If these guys are not scoring 2 points tonight from both of these guys, 2 points each, like, if they're not scoring, how do you say that that was an upgrade? Where is it coming from? I get that they can spread the floor, but they're not knocking down shots, wide open shots, what have you. Like, where's the upgrade? Where's the net positive? So I start that off with that. And then the second thing is, the Knicks came out very lethargic to start this game. And today they went up against the defending champions and, against the really good teams in the NBA. You cannot continue to come out with these lethargic, starts, have a spark, somewhere in the second half. And think you're going to win every game. It's just not going to happen. And today we met the defending champions, and they just, like you said, hit 3 after 3 after 3, and it was over. So Thibodeau has to do something. He has to make some sort of adjustment. They try to get something going with this team, because right now I just don't see it. And it's some of the same things that we keep saying over and over again. The perimeter defense is not being there, right? You got the lethargic play of the entire team. Them got out-hustling us, out-muscling us for second chance points, rebounds, stuff like that. The same things you hear over and over again. So it's going to be a consistent problem. Now I'm at the point where I just want to see something change, whether it be schematically, whether it be personnel, getting more minutes for some of the other guys, or doing something like that. But something got to change.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks had 13 offensive rebounds tonight. The New York Knicks had 7. And if we go back and look at the keys to the game, which we're going to do in just a second, you'll see that there were keys to the game that we had that the Knicks just did not do tonight. And it's the reason why they lost the game. Steph, what's your take?
Well, the positive is that if you could take a positive, that Tibbs stayed with that second unit who was playing very, very well for us. We talked about it on the show yesterday about personnel changes, and somebody on the Guard Up Nick said, maybe the personnel changes is on the bench, and just in terms of switching the lineups up a little bit. He played Randall with the second team. He did a few different things to try to get this, to get the team going, staying with the hot hand. Listen, it's a personnel issue to me. I just feel like the guards that we have, in that starting unit are just not, I say not good enough might be a bit too strong, but they're not getting it done right now. And if this continues, I just don't see us getting out of the first round and maybe end up in the play-in,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the box score tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Derrick Rose, he led the Knicks with 22 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds, followed by Emmanuel Quickly. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And then you had Julius Randle. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds. 11 of those 16 points came in the first quarter. Obi Toppin had 14 points, 6 rebounds. Alec Burks had 14 points, 1 rebound. He was hot from 3. He was 4 for 7 from the three-point line. R.J. Barrett, only 9 points tonight for R.J. Barrett. It's 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line. The starting unit just could not get anything going. They were slow. They were lethargic. Anytime they were on the floor, the Milwaukee Bucks took it to them and extended the lead. The second unit was better than Milwaukee's first unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were better than Milwaukee's first unit.
Yeah.
But it's only so much that they're going to be able to do. They had to exert so much energy to get back into the game. You can't expect that they're going to be able to finish that game out. And I don't blame Tibbs for not bringing the starters back in. That is exactly what you do. The second unit got you back in the game. You might as well rock out with them because the first unit would have probably, might have been a 30-point blowout.
Right.
Because they were just terrible.
Yeah.
They were just terrible.
No other way to put it.
No other way to put it. Yeah, there's no other way to put it. They were just terrible. The Milwaukee Bucks tonight, the Knicks did a good job for the most part with Giannis. Right? For the most part, they did. He ended up with 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he still had a very good basketball game, almost a triple-double. But in the first half, he only had 3 points. The Knicks did a very good job putting up that wall against Giannis. Then you had Pat Connaughton. 7 threes tonight. 7 threes, a career game for this guy. 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists for Pat Connaughton. Another guy having a career game against this New York Knicks defense. Right? Then Jrue Holiday, he had 18 points, 6 assists. We said in the pregame show, whoever wins that point guard battle, their team is going to win the game. Jrue Holiday, 18 points, 6 assists. Kemba Walker, on the other hand, for the New York Knicks, 2 points, 2 assists. 2 points, 2 assists from your starting point guard. You just can't do it. Bobby Portis, he had 17 points, 5 rebounds. Grayson Allen had 15 points, 5 rebounds. He was 5 for 11 from the three-point line. The Bucks overall, ladies and gentlemen, were 26 for 50 from the three-point line. 26 for 50. They took 50 three-point attempts. They took 90 shot attempts for the game. just it's a tough pill to swallow, for me. You know what I mean? If it was a close game all the way through and it was a tight game, the Knicks played a good game and they lost the game, so be it. It is what it is. You're going to lose basketball games like that. But to have the display of basketball that we did tonight on the floor, I mean, that third quarter was just atrocious. And it began at the end of the second quarter when the starters came in. Right? I think the Knicks, it was either a close game or the Knicks had a lead. I don't remember. Might have just been a close game. When the starters came back in the second quarter, it just slowly slipped away. They couldn't score. Milwaukee did. And it wasn't Giannis scoring. It was everybody else except Giannis.
Right.
9-point lead going into halftime for the Milwaukee Bucks. Third quarter was just terrible for the Knicks. Play after play after play. Lazy play. Lazy
batted bounce pass from IQ.
I mean,
leading to a fast break layup from Giannis.
Yeah, just lazy basketball from the New York Knicks, all the way. Well, from the starters all the way around, and then they had to rely on Derrick Rose and the bench, to bring them back. I don't even know how much you can really say about just this game, man. I don't care. I don't like that call was made against Obi Toppin, but I thought that I didn't think it should have been overturned, but I don't want that to mask everything else that happened in this basketball game. What do we do? I don't know. Is it time for Kemba to go to the bench? Is it time for him to go to the bench and Derrick Rose be the starter? But do we want Derrick Rose play? I mean, he's going to play starter minutes anyway. I don't know. It's just that time because Kemba Walker's not getting it done as your starting point guard. And people in the chat can say, oh, it's just this number of games, it's that number of games. I don't care. He's not getting it done. And like you always say, Steph, if he's not scoring, he's not doing anything. He's not giving you anything else.
No. Tim, I think he's situational at this point. I just don't know if Rose starts. Now you're relying on Quickly, whose decision making is not that great, but defense is better than Kemba. This is a tough spot. And let's also keep in mind Mitch is not playing well, whether he's rounding into shape and whatever. So the Knicks are at a disadvantage in that starting lineup. Other than Randall and RJ, the other three have a lot of question marks. But Fournier to me should be doing better. I don't get it. I don't get it with him.
He's wide open. He has so many good looks. I just don't know what it is, like why he can't be able to make his shots. Right. That's why I'm not really that concerned, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like you're wide open, like,
right.
Oh man, like,
right. Yeah. I'm a little higher on Fournier because he's missing open shots, but
yeah, it's I don't know, and I know there's people out there that you guys are going crazy, give it time, this, that, and the third. You know what? If the Knicks were playing very, very well in every game, well, not very well in every game, but playing good, and you didn't see all these crazy holes in every game, and they were 7-5, okay, I'd say, you know what? Maybe we just need to learn how to get over the hump, or we haven't put everything together to pull out some close games or something like that. But it's not that.
Right.
It's these gaps of holes, that are in this team. You know what I mean? There's just a huge drop off on the defensive side of the floor, which is crazy, right? And the very purpose, the guys that came in that are supposed to, that replaced Bullock and Payton, and they're supposed to swing the team to be better offensively.
Right.
They're not doing that.
Right. Right.
So,
Right. That's why you brought him in.
right. That's why you brought
just
it.
wanna-
They're not doing that. We scored 100 points tonight.
We did that last year.
We did that last year. We're giving up 116 points at Madison Square Garden. We're 2-4 at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I just want to add that this is not something that's been like here and there with this. Everything that we're talking about has been consistent in every single game that we've been talking about, win or loss. Our defense and the lack of production between Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, that's been consistent throughout the first 12 games of the season.
And the defense.
And the defense, the perimeter defense. So I mean, I think at this point we need to consider making some changes. Sim, I do like what you said about Kemba Walker. Maybe putting him on the bench. Somebody was talking about in the preseason about maybe the Knicks need to start IQ. You know what I'm saying? And I think this might be a good opportunity for him. I don't want to see Derrick Rose start. I really don't. Not saying anything against Derrick Rose, but at the same time, I really like his role off the bench. But to me, I think IQ deserves a shot.
So if you start IQ, are you putting Kemba on the bench with Rose, or are you dropping him totally out the rotation?
Situational, Tim, in my opinion. Situational. Now, who do you now? And Tibbs has been doing this. Play RJ, instead of bringing up Grimes, which you can do, shorten the rotation and play RJ with that, with the second unit. Today, he even played Randall with the second unit.
So I personally like RJ with the second unit. I'm not saying to put him there like bench him or all. I'm not saying that. But I think he plays really well with that second unit because he doesn't need the ball in his hand as much. Mm-hmm. But when you take IQ out of there, I guess it kind of evens itself out anyway. I think Grimes would be a perfect fit for that second unit as well. But you can. It's multiple ways that we can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and as someone said in the chat, shout out to CP, the artist. Check out his channel as well.
Oh, yeah.
He said we keep giving RJ a pass. He hasn't had a good 2 games, and it's true. And this is what I said when RJ went on that good stretch. And everybody is talking about him being the second option and him being this. Listen, I don't have a problem with it. The only thing I'm saying is it takes time to get to that point where you can be counted on game in and game out. And he's making further strides, but this is the second game where he just did not play well.
Yeah. Excuse me. The Bucks 22nd chance points, ladies and gentlemen. 22nd chance points. And if you look at our keys to the game, from earlier today when we did the pregame show, one of the keys was hit the boards, right? And when we talked about hitting the boards, we talked about the Bucks being a team that hasn't been shooting well from the field this season. Now tonight they shot 44% from the field. They shot 52% from 3. But the reason why they shot even 44% from the field is because we, especially in the first half, were giving them offensive rebound, right? They would get 2, 3, 4 offensive rebounds and finally make a shot. We didn't hit the boards good. Close out on 3-pointers.
Yeah.
How many wide open 3-pointers did they have tonight? Wide open.
50%.
Yeah, wide open. They were 52% from the 3-point line, 26 threes. Guys were wide open, and we weren't closing out good enough. Our starters did not match their starters' intensity. From the beginning of the game, you're normally filling out your opponent. But as we got into the game, the starters couldn't match their intensity. We didn't really defend the point of attack. Drew Holiday had 18 points. And it's not like he had 18 points on bad shooting. Just tough game. Drew Holiday was 44% from the field and 66.7% from the 3-point line, ladies and gentlemen. So everything that was in our keys to the game, the Knicks did none of these things. None of these things. If you want to say fourth quarter execution, they did have some fourth quarter execution to get back into the basketball game. I'm not going to blame that second unit for losing, losing their I don't want to say their edge, but not being able to finish the game out. I'm not going to blame them because they had to exert mad energy to get the game back. You know what I mean? And then play out the remainder of the quarter. So I'm not going to blame them for bad fourth quarter execution.
Not only that, but Budenholzer came with his zone. I think it was 6 minutes. 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. He put his zone on it to slow them down a little bit. The Knicks were still able to hit a little bit of shots, but I think that kind of slowed them down as well.
Yeah, that zone slowed them down, made them think about, where we're going to get our shots from, instead of allowing Derrick Rose to go one-on-one, Emmanuel quickly to go one-on-one, because clearly they weren't able to guard either one of them. Big shout out to Nino Black. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I was ready to kick my 65-inch TV, but hey, we need these other games. Yeah, you need your TV to watch those other games too, so I'm glad you didn't kick it. I'm glad you did not kick it. And big shout out to Frank for the super sticker. I appreciate you, my friend. I don't know. Mobb Deep tonight. And, I think I'm going to get the Mobb Deep theme song, to go behind. I'm going to keep a segment called Mobb Deep as we look at the bench, see what the bench is doing. We're going to keep this segment Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 68 points, 23 rebounds, 13 assists. They shot 51.6% from the field and 60% from the three-point line. That was our bench tonight. They were on fire tonight. They played good basketball tonight. Obi played good basketball tonight. Quickly played good basketball tonight. Derrick Rose was the leader of that bench. Call him Prodigy. Call him Prodigy. Mobb Deep. That's what they did tonight. As far as the starters, they stunk. I don't even want to put their stats on the screen. They stunk. They were terrible. Get to a phone call here. They were terrible. Call you live. Spray, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, man. I'm not feeling good. Not feeling good. I mean, I'm calling because I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix the problem. We could say it's early, and I know Tibbs is going to give him a chance to figure it out because he doesn't want to lose him. I don't know how you fix Kemba and Fournier right now. My problem, Sim, is there's some guys that I can bring me energy in the game, and I don't question the quality of shots, and that aren't slow on the court. And especially early in the game when you're going up against athletic teams, because a lot of these teams, Sim, have athletic guys. We can get away with it when we're not playing athletic people. Mm-hmm. Most of these teams have athletic dudes. How do we fix the problem?
How do we fix the problem with the starting unit?
First unit.
The starting unit? I think there has to be changes. The hard part is, and someone just mentioned it in the chat, they said don't change the bench because, they have good chemistry, so don't change the bench. But we cannot continue to let the starters lumber out there. You know what I mean? And, I mean, there are times when the starters coming in, they're good. If Julius Randle is hitting, he's good. If RJ Barrett is hitting, they're good. But most nights they're going to be what their average is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you get into the game and you play against, like you said, these athletic teams, we're going to struggle against those fast athletic teams, I think. Teams that can shoot the three-pointer. Excuse me. To me, the only answer. Well, I did see someone in the chat say elevate the bench group, Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, right? Maybe Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks to the starting unit and put the starters on the bench. Mm-hmm. That's what somebody in the chat said, right?
I totally agree with the decision to keep them in. Like I said, win or lose, you let them decide the game. And I did feel the whole way, even maybe not when we tied it, but when we were down 4, I still thought it was unreachable because you can't expect any team when down 25, as great as our second unit was, to bail you out. Milwaukee gets paid too. They're eventually going to hit open threes. our second unit was terrific. Look, he's going to give Randall the chance with Kemba and Fournier. I think you give it another 10 games because I'm trying to be rational after that. But I just think we play too slow. I think when we play through Randall, yes, you can get open looks off of it, but for some reason Kemba's slow. His decision-making is slow. He can't really get by people at the level I need. Quickly can at least get off the dribble and get by people. Rose can get by people quickly. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you fix that. Fournier, if he's not making shots, is not. You can't. It's a problem. I just think also Randall. One of the big things, Sim, that my problem is. We need energy. The thing with Obi is Obi comes on the court. He doesn't always make the right decision, but he's always energetic. Like, I'm at the point with Obi where I can live with mistakes with Obi because he's doing them quickly. With Randall still, I find myself, Sam, wanting more energy from him on the court, mentally and physically. Why am I still asking for that at this point?
I mean, I don't, you're not going to get the same type of youthful exuberance that Obi gives you from Randall. You're not going to get that, right? He's not flying up the court or flying over top of people. He's not going to give you that. I mean, the energy that I want from him is on the energy that I want from Randall is on the defensive side. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, the energy I want from Randall really is on the defensive side. He showed some glimpses tonight. A few possessions where he was, closing out hard and did some things. And I was like, I wonder if he watched the pregame show. You know what I mean? Because, he was closing out hard, but then he still had a couple of possessions. I don't know. I forgot the dude's name. He got big hair. He came down the lane, and Randall looked at him and took a step his way and then went back towards his man, and then he came down the lane and dunked.
You talking about Noira?
I forgot the dude's name. But it was in the first half, and it was like he knew the rotation, and it was like he was trying to fake the dude out like he was going to come over, and then he was anticipating maybe that he was going to kick it, but the dude was like, no, I'm keeping it. Went down the lane and dunked it. And so he got past the first line of defense. Randall was the second line of defense, and then Alec Burks was under the basket, was the third line of defense. He got through everybody and just threw it down.
Yeah.
So I want more energy on the defensive side of the ball, right? And not even really energy, just better decision making, and understanding when to rotate, how to rotate, who to rotate to.
Yeah,
that's what I want from Randall. I think you need to give Obi,
Sim, another thing. I think you just have to find a way to give Obi more minutes. And as much as Julius is the Batman of this team, Obi Toppin needs to start getting 20 minutes a night. With what I'm seeing on the court, he's our most athletic player on our team. He's got to get 20 minutes. I don't even care if Julius has it going. You've got to find a way to get him on the court. Enough of this, I'm playing him only 12 minutes a night. That's got to stop. We have to – Noel gives you energy. Obi gives us energy. And Quickly can get off the dribble. I'd like to see more of Quickly and RJ on the court with Rose. I need people that are going to give me look. It's one game. It's hard. I'm overreacting because I'm mad because our second unit deserved better. We got to give it 10 more games, but it's an energy problem right now, and it's about pushing pace. It's about, like you said, defensively starting it. Tim, you're absolutely right. Last year I didn't question that. I'm questioning it now.
Yeah.
And so Kemba's got to get it together, man. He's got to. He may be our third best point guard right now. So it is what it is, man. I'm depressed, but I appreciate you taking my call. I hope you guys can tell me how we fix this. You're the man.
I don't know. I don't know how we fix it. Let me ask you this though, Tibbs. I mean, not Tibbs. Spree. I was thinking like Tibbs got to fix it. That's what I was thinking in my head. Are you giving them 10 or are you giving them 8 games? We're at 12 games. We've played 12 games. You're giving them 8 more games, to get to 20 before you decide to make a change. Or are you giving them 10 to get to 22 games?
I think you give him 10. I mean, Kemba's earned the respect. I just think you do anything drastic, you'll lose the group. And they understand they didn't deserve to get back in the game. I love that. You play the guys that get you where you need to go. They didn't deserve to come back in. Randall didn't deserve to come back in. Give him 10 more games. See if Kemba, because Kemba, to be fair, has had, in the Philly game down the stretch, he closed well. He was able to get in the paint, had some good pick and roll with Julius. I think we give it 10 more games. Let's see what it looks like. And then we reassess everything. Let's reassess. Sim, I will call you 10 games from now. We reassess this whole situation. Is Kemba the answer? Is Fournier the answer? Is Julius the answer? I need more from Julius. I'm not happy with. I did not question the effort, the energy, I always question the decision making. So I think we give it 10 more games, and then we reassess as we move forward closer to this thing. And trade deadline is, you better believe I might be making some moves because we need energy. If we're not going to play McBride or Grimes, I'm going to have to get creative here. But we'll talk. Sim, I don't have the answers. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing out there, and this is not good. But we'll fix it. But I'll listen to you guys offline. Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. We'll see. I don't know.
Can I ask the question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Hypothetical. I'm going to ask this question, and I know Sim is going to be the devil's advocate on this because he always is every time I bring this up. This is going to be about at what point do we start questioning tips, right? So, Steph, you mentioned all the time about personnel, right? It's a personnel issue. Well, good coaches are supposed to adapt to the personnel that they have, right? And not just with schemes, but, the rotations who you put out there on the floor. At what point are we going to say Tibbs is being too stubborn and that he needs to do something different? At what point do we say that? If not right now, if things continue going the way they're going, and after 20 games, we're like 10-10 or, 12-8 or something like that. At what point do we question Tibbs? It's a question.
I think he has changed the rotation. What do you mean in terms of the starters?
In terms of, so I'll give you an example. So we were talking about how bad the Knicks defense is, right? Mm-hmm. And him not adjusting, like being a little bit more creative on the defensive side of the ball with his play calling. Offensively, some of the offense, we don't have any offensive sets, to be honest with you. I don't see any type of offensive, plays ran for guys. It just kind of seems like we're all out of sync. And tonight was an effort issue, and I get that's on the players, but as a coach, you got to be able to get your guys ready to play. And it seems like, he's been outcoached a few times this season. And, he has to be able to get his guys to come out there and play maximum effort. And that's not the same as it was last season. Last season, it was all about effort. He was able to get that out of his players. This season, the team just doesn't seem hungry enough. So that's where I'm coming from with that. I'm not saying it's all on Tibbs, obviously, as a player. There's too many veterans in that locker room for one player to be blamed or one person. There's a lot of veterans in that locker room. But, I think at some point we have to look at Tibbs and hold him accountable a little bit. So what do y'all think about that?
I think it's always going to come back to Tom Thibodeau, no matter what. Even if it's a personnel problem, it's going to come back to Tom Thibodeau, right? So he's got to, if he doesn't think that his personnel can give the same defensive effort, then he's got to go to Leon Rose and say, you got to get me somebody else because these guys cannot execute what I'm asking them to execute. And there's only so much that you can cover up, especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
There's only so much that you can cover up. So at some point, it's always going to come back to Tom Thibodeau. That's without a doubt. But at some point, he's going to, if he doesn't feel like he has the players that can execute what he's asking them to do, he's going to have to talk to Leon Rose and tell him to get some players in here that can execute. I think, I think as far as lineup adjustments, I believe we do have to, it's 12 games for Tom Thibodeau, a guy who's played 400 games or more than 400 games in his career.
More than 400 games.
Huh? Well, he's
won more than.
Right. He's won 400 games, so he's lost, 200 and something games. So he's played 600 and something games, 700 games in his career. 12 games is nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? It might seem like everything to us, but to him, it's nothing. So to him, it's like we played 12 games. We have a lot of time to adjust and make things right, and let me get a true assessment of this team. You know, and I think that's what he's going to do. You know, take some time. Let me get a true assessment. Let me get a really good sample size. We always say that, right? Oh, such and such a shooting this amount of shot, you know, taking these many attempts, or he's shooting this percentage from the field, but in a small sample size. You know, so he probably wants to get a good sample size before he can make a true assessment of the team. Now, for me, I feel like there are things that I can see right now that I'm like, that's not going to change. I don't give a damn how many games you play. It's not changing. Kemba's not growing. Fournier's not getting faster. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle's not jumping over anybody. Like, those things ain't changing.
Right.
You know? Kemba's defense ain't going to change. It's not going to get better. As a matter of fact, as the season goes on, it could get worse because his body's going to tire down. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, I don't know. I think, you know, we could have some answers on the bench with guys like Grimes and McBride. Is he going to play them over Kemba Walker? No, because then there's always, you know, there's always the you got to climb the ladder type of thing. Tibbs is an old school coach, so it's like, hey, you got to build your respect in this league before I just give you this. And
that's the problem. That's what I worry about when you talk about benching guys and having rookies, you know, come in and get major minutes. That's what I worry about, because again, when you have veterans like that, you risk losing the locker room. The thing with Kemba Walker, he's new to the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He wasn't here last season. And I get Grimes and the rest of those guys weren't here either, but IQ was here last season. So he's a little bit more a part of this team than I would say Kemba is at this point. So I wouldn't mind making that move for IQ. You know, giving him more minutes, or give him some starting minutes, or whatever the case may be, because Kemba's still too new to the team. You know what I mean? We can risk, you know, not hurting Kemba Walker. I know how to put it, but you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I will say that there's enough blame to go around. But I think Tibbs has actually been pretty consistent, and actually he's made some, like, staying with that second team is pretty different for him. But the bottom line is the players are just not good enough. I mean, yeah, I think the coach does need to do his part, but you got to work with what you have. And you got a Mitch that's not playing well. You got an IQ, a Kemba and a Fournier who are not defending nor hitting shots, right? It makes it tough. And for those who want the rookies, listen, I don't have a problem with the rookies coming in and playing a few minutes, but you're not going to tell me that you're going to start McBride and you're going to play Grimes major minutes. Forget losing the locker room, and those guys are going to get you to the second round of the playoffs, or going to help you meet your ceiling as a team. I just don't think so. Again, they can get minutes. I'm not saying that, but you're talking about major minutes and we're going to rely on those guys. It's just not going to work. I think experience leads. You can have inexperienced guys playing, but in terms of leading the team, your best players have to perform. And right now, our best players are not performing. Kemba, Fournier, Mitch, for various reasons, right? And it's just not a good look. And I think the personnel that we need is just not on this team. It's just not on this team.
Yeah. This is why I was a big proponent of bringing in Lonzo Ball or Kyle Lowry or even both.
And Dinwiddie, I was good.
I was just a little nervous about. I would have brought him in on a cheap contract. I was nervous about giving him a lot of money because of, you know, his injury.
Yeah.
You know, but I was such a big proponent of Kyle Lowry, and if we could get Lonzo Ball too, both of those guys, because, you know, they can both score the basketball and they can both play defense from the point guard and the wing spot. But, you know, I ain't gonna cry over spilled milk. I'm gonna cry over the spilled milk that we spilling right now, I guess. Right? Because we spilling milk all over the place. Let me get to this phone call. Then I want to ask, at this point, what is the ceiling that you project for Kemba Walker? I want to ask that. But let me get to this phone call.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Caller, you're live. Tell me your name, where you're from.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing tonight? Tell me your name, where you're from, bro.
When Sim passed the assist, you know it's nothing but
Oh,
switch.
Ron, what's going on, man?
Still Knicks fans in the building, baby.
What up? What's going on?
What's going on, y'all?
What's your name and where you from, caller?
I'm a depressed Knicks fan from Brooklyn, and yeah, man, this was a rough one tonight. Family, I don't know how to speak about this one. We in trouble.
I hate hearing that. We're in trouble, but I can't argue with you. I mean, you know, we look at it and we say, well, we're 7-5, but you know, that 7-5 doesn't look like it can last for long without this perimeter defense.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I got something in my
You know what it is that I guess what I'm most worried about and most concerned about is the fact that, you know, what Steph has been saying has been like the whole thing about situational with Kemba and even Fournier, but like I don't know what we're gonna do, because even like I feel like it's a tough thing to have, you know, one or two of these guys situational for too long a period of time, and we can't do anything or trade or move these guys until like December 15th. This could be rough, man. This locker room could change, so I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Ron, hey, since I got you on the phone, then I come around to Steph and Josh. At this point, what is your ceiling for Kemba Walker for this team?
I mean, I don't want to be one of them fair weather Knicks fans or fair weather fans in general, but honestly, the way it looks and the fact that he's back at the Garden, at his home arena, where he's had special nights, and he's not comfortable. He's not doing it. If anything, he's getting worse by the game. Like, what's he going to do the next game? 0 points? Like, I don't know. I think at this point, he got to get moved, man. I think he's got to go somewhere else. I don't think they can keep him on this team. I think it's a bad look for the organization. He's a hometown kid, or a guy, should I say? Like, I'd rather just move him rather than have the whole thing about bringing him here, paying him $8 million, the hometown guy, and he's on the bench, and then he's sulking. This guy always has a smile. He ain't gonna have a smile much longer. So I'd rather get him out of here.
You know, the
Who
one
wants
thing,
him though?
Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't think he would sulk. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think he would just accept it and say, okay, you know, this is what it is right now, and you know, and play it out, and maybe, you know, talk about it behind closed doors, or you know, in the locker room to Coach Tibbs or whoever he needs to talk to. But I think he's a professional, and I think he would handle it with grace if that were the case. I do.
I think you're right about that, Sim. I'm saying that because, you know, I don't know how much time he could deal with in that type of situation. I just can't believe we're even talking about this. I can't believe Kemba is here and this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. Steph, what is your ceiling for Kemba Walker right now with the way things are?
I think right now, I'm not sure there's much we can do, because I just don't think we have the personnel to take him out. I think he's in the Alfred Payton role right now. You start him for a few minutes, see what he gives you. Start him for third quarter, see what he gives you. If he's playing well, you keep him out there a little longer. If not, you know, you take him out. But I think you have to find a point guard that can defend that position and hit the three. And once you do that, you either trade him. I don't think he has a lot of trade value, though. And he just becomes situational, but you got to bring somebody in. I know we say that we have these point guards on the bench, but we need, if we're going to try to be successful in this stacked Eastern Conference, the point guards really have to be able to man that position, not just be somebody who can play it, like to kind of be an asset on that end of the floor, like a Rose is doing. And I'm not sure we have that in Deuce. Maybe in IQ. I mean, we'll see. But my preference would be to bring in another point guard and either trade Kemba if we could, which I doubt, or make him situational in that regard.
Josh, same question.
I agree. I'll make him situational. I mean, he's not. I just don't see any. I mean, he can only get better. I mean, that's the good thing, right? He can only get better, but I just don't see it happening. I see him coming off the bench. I see IQ moving into that starting lineup. And two, we try to make a move with the deadline, but I don't even know who's really available. I don't know if the Knicks are going to try to swing big for a Damian Lillard or something like that. So we just got to
see. I feel like if you're going to move IQ in the starting lineup, you might as well move Rose into the starting lineup instead of IQ, because either way, you still have to make some kind of an adjustment on the bench. And Derrick Rose is more experienced in NBA guarding these guys, tackling different types of situations, just has a better overall basketball IQ than Emmanuel Quickly, in my opinion. So if I was going to move either Rose or IQ to the starting unit, I would move Rose and then let IQ be the captain of the second unit, right? Where you got younger guys or guys that, you still got some older guys in that unit, but he can be the one who mans that point guard spot in the second unit as he's learning and gaining experience in the NBA. Derrick Rose has the experience, so I would rather him be the one that has to deal with Julius Randle out there on the floor for the majority of the minutes and not IQ, right? Because Julius Randle.
What about Burks and IQ together? That's what I'm concerned about, that too, that dynamic.
I mean, they're together now already.
With Rose,
they're together out there already. So I would, if that were the case, and you were replacing Kemba Walker in that starting unit, you almost have to make him situational. I guess he could play. No, I don't know. I guess he could play in the second unit, and maybe he can fare better in the second unit. I don't know. It's a tough situation right now. Tough situation. Ron, I'm gonna let you go because I think we might have some other callers that want to call in, or maybe we don't. They might not want to have anything to say. You know what I mean? But I know tomorrow night, 8:00, we got the NBA report that's going to debut you and John. And, so that's going to be dope. I'm going to make sure I put the link in the YouTube chat so people can go set their reminders.
Yeah, man. I appreciate all y'all. I just felt like I had to call in. It was a tough loss. Hey, we win together, we lose together. You know what I mean? So, but just a quick shout out to all the Knicks fans. We're gonna be all right. This was a bad one, and we got some stuff we got to work on. But we're gonna be good. It's just gonna be a little crazy. We'll be all right though.
All right. I hope so. I'm trusting you. All right, Ron.
Well, don't trust me on my Fournier takes because I've been wrong about all those.
I've been wrong about him too. I said I thought he could step his game up to all-star level.
Yeah, I thought he was the leading scorer on the team. So
exactly, I thought the same thing, and obviously it's not. So I don't know.
All right, well, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna listen.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Later.
All right, later. Big shout out to Joshua O'Quinn. He says, salute to the MBK fam. I hope everyone is good. We're on the right track, y'all. Obi is looking great. At least we don't got to see Wayne Ellington. Hey, Wayne Ellington is, playing with the Lakers. They're not looking that great right now, but I don't know. I mean, we don't got to see him, but we got to see some other guys that ain't looking too hot. So, oh no, this is what it is. Let me get to another phone call here. Call you live. Maybe I didn't get him yet. Okay, here we go. Call you live. What's popping? Tell me your name, where you from.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Hello?
Yes. I mean, I always enjoy listening to you guys.
Yeah.
I always enjoy listening to you guys. As we're talking about talking about the first unit.
Uh-huh.
The first unit.
Yeah.
Okay, we can make all the changes we want. I think Tom Tibbs is a problem. Okay, he's putting the ball in Randall's hand too much.
So, okay. I mean, he might be. I mean, I don't think that's the main problem with the first unit. Yeah, I think it's more of our guards.
Well, I see there's no ball movement.
But who's in charge of making that ball movement happen?
Okay, let me finish. Okay, in the first 3 games, when there was ball movement, in the first 3 games, you saw Kimber and Fourier shoot very well because there was ball movement around. But right now, we see Randall finishing the quarters.
Right, he finishes the quarters. I mean, he's going to do that.
We can't go back to the last year. Right, he finishes the quarters.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's happening there. Let's get to another call, man. I don't know what's going on. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you from, please.
What's going on, y'all? It's Eric. I'm from Queens.
What's going on, Eric? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Tonight was a weird one. It's a weird one.
That's true.
The tale of two energies for me. I know people's gonna get on Kemba and Fournier for their lack of production, rightfully so to an extent. But I feel that they'll come good. I feel like when they don't have their shot going, they become too passive, and it's kind of like a 2-on-5 because we're relying on RJ and Randall to dig us out of a hole, and it just puts us in a big hole. But I feel like they'll come good. They have to just adjust. They'll be all right. We're giving up too many threes, especially in our corner. I mean, it was open season all night. That corner three. I didn't know Pat Connaughton could shoot like that, to be honest. But, yeah, their whole team, Grayson Allen, they was on fire tonight.
Yeah.
That second unit, though, I think Tibbs, hopefully now, he realizes that some of these guys may have to play a little bit more, especially Obi. I think Obi was fantastic tonight, defensively and offensively. IQ was good. It was just the second unit just gave us more energy. It was like the first unit played more through one person, and it was just stagnant, and the second unit just played more freely. It was just more like they just played together. It was like everybody's puts in it. Like the first unit just passes to Randall, see what he does, makes a move or not. It was just a tale of two energies for me.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I mean, the second unit had energy. The first unit didn't have energy. And look, there are going to be nights when the second unit doesn't have energy because they don't match up well, too. Right. That's going to happen, but it was just so apparent tonight. It was ridiculously apparent. Again, second unit had 68 of our 100 points tonight. They had 68 points, 23 rebounds, and 13 assists combined. They shot 51.6% from the field and 60% from the three-point line. Now, the Knicks only had 19 assists on the night, and 13 of them came from the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to have better production from that start.
That's not going to happen every night, but this is something that the second unit definitely stepped up. I'm not going to lie. The second unit definitely stepped up. And before, it was a 46 to 70, and it was like we had no answers for that three-point. We had no answers. I think the second unit even played better defensively as well.
Yeah, they did.
I think Milwaukee settled a little bit too much in the second half, though. But the Knicks definitely defended well, especially the paint. Todd Gibson and Obi was terrific.
Yeah. I don't know. But, hey, my man, what's your name? Eric? Eric, I appreciate your call, bro. Thank you for your time.
All right, all love. All right.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate it. One thing that I'm noticing from this team, too, is last year, defensively, it didn't matter if they were playing well offensively or not. They just played defense. That's what they did. This year, it seems like our defensive energy is dictated by our shot making. We start making shots, we get real energized, start tipping the basketball. hustling for loose balls. We're not making shots. We get lazy. We don't want to go get the loose ball. You know what I mean? We're not tipping the basketball. We're not playing up tight on our man, and squeezing the defense. And that can't happen. The defense has to be the standard. It can't be dictated by your offense, because your offense is going to come and go. Your defense has to be the constant. And with this team, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Seems like we play as our offense goes. If our offense is hitting, we're playing tight defense. If it's not hitting, we're playing lackluster defense. That's not a good sign to me. What do you think, Steph? Are you seeing that?
I'm definitely seeing that. But what I will also say is it's demoralizing when everybody is getting beat.
Yeah.
And you're in rotation all the time. It's demoralizing, and it takes a lot of energy to be in full rotation pretty much every possession. So I think you're right. When the shots start falling, they get, energized. They put in a bit more effort on the defensive end. This is not a defensive-minded team, like a minded team. Like here, like, we're here to play defense, and yes, we're going to hit our shots. This is not a defensive-minded team. It wasn't built that way, and we're seeing that. So that second unit, once they started scoring, they were energized. Their defense was much better as well. So,
yeah. Josh, any thoughts on that before I get to this next caller?
Yeah, real quick. I just want to say that, I would be a little bit more comfortable if this defense was bend but don't break, right? They'll rotate on their rotations a little bit. They'll close out. They'll give up a couple open shots or whatever, but they'll still close out enough to where they can force some missed shots or look some turnovers or what have you. That's not the case at all. And if you combine that with the fact that two of our main offensive scoring options are not scoring, it's just a recipe for disaster. So I think if you put that with the offensive troubles, then obviously it's just gonna not be a good thing.
Yeah. Let me get to the caller. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Taylor, what's up, brother Tim? Salute to the panel. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Wonderful. Hey, man, I am enjoying this panel. You guys are hitting all the points. Normally after a game like this, I'm asking if Tibbs is being out-coached, but I liked what I saw tonight. I like that he stuck with the second unit. I mean, at one point when we got 2 points behind, I said to myself, Obi has got the energy. I was kind of down on him last year. I was getting better after preseason and the camp. But he's bringing the energy. Just like Josh said, he's bringing the energy we need. But I like that Tibbs did something that I know he was uncomfortable with tonight. I don't know if somebody whispered in his ear, you're going to get suspended or you're going to take a paycheck. But I like what I saw. Normally I'm down, but I like what I saw. I like, he coached out of the box. He kept the second unit in. The only thing I don't like is that Rose plays too many minutes. But I like what I saw. I mean, the first unit, they got to wake up. They got to wake up. Hey, look, I'm not a coach. My personal feeling is that they're watching everybody. There's a move coming. I've been saying that forever. They're watching everybody. They want to know who wants to play, and tonight we saw who wants to play.
Yeah.
And that's it for me, guys. Hey, once again, great panel. Love your comments. I'm done.
Hey, let me ask you one question. Are you saying you like what you saw from Thibodeau, or you like what you saw from the team?
I like what I saw overall. Thibodeau stuck with the second team to the end. That's out of character for him. Mm-hmm. And the second team really brought some energy tonight. I mean, we lost by 12, but I'm telling you, for somebody that's been down all season, because I didn't like what I was seeing, I like what I saw tonight. Let's grow from this. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed with some. I like the comeback, but I'm a little disappointed with the perimeter defense, with Kemba, his performance, Evan Fournier and his performance. I'm disappointed with those.
Well, the thing with Evan is, I think Evan is like, he's trying not to. How can I put it? He's trying to fit in. You know, I'm going to give it that. I'm with you on working with him. I think he's trying to fit in. And like everyone keeps saying, it's only, 10, 11, 12 games? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I mean, look, at this point, everybody on the team got to put their big boy pants on. Just fit in. Just do what you do. Play ball. If somebody don't like it, deal with it in the locker room because we need him to ball out. That's what he was brought here for. We need Evan Fournier to ball out. So, people get salty. They just get salty about something. You can deal with it later. We need him to hoop.
Yeah, but Sim, what if that person is Randall, who everybody's saying is a savior on this team, man? I mean, I watched some of those passes they give to him, and it's like they're handing the ball to him. And that thing, I'm telling you, that my hair falls out with that, and I don't have much hair.
I don't know. I mean, listen, Fournier's been getting some wide open shots, man. He's not knocking them down. He was wide open several times today, and couldn't buy a bucket. Yeah,
I'll live with that.
Okay, all right.
I like his all-around game. I'll live with that.
Okay, hey, man, I appreciate your call. Let's hope that next time you call back, the Knicks got to win.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you guys again, man, at the next game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate you.
All right, good night, guys.
All right, good night.
Good night.
I don't know, man. I'm a little bit nervous about this Charlotte game coming up, though. I can tell you that. They can score the basketball, and, the Knicks, we can score the basketball, but it's on and off. Sometimes we score. Sometimes we score 100 points. Right. We can get hot. I know the NBA is a game of runs. I get it. But guess what happens with the good teams? They cut them runs off at a certain point. They don't let that run go to, a 16, 17, 18-0 run. They cut it off. It gets to 10. They're like, oh, hold up. Call a timeout, come out, get a bucket, get a stop, whatever. Those good teams are able to stop them runs. We don't. We don't. You look at Milwaukee, they let us go on a big run to get back in the game. But also look at their record. They're 500 right now because they're not at full strength. Right now, we're playing below 500 basketball right now. Since we went 5-1, we were 5-1. We went 2-4 since then.
Right.
2-4 since then. The Charlotte Hornets, they average 114.5 points per game. 114.5 points per game. They shoot 45% from the field. They shoot 38% from three. You got Scary Terry out there. You know what I mean? He can light it up when he wants to. I'm a little nervous about this game because I don't want these guys to start lighting it up on us, and we cannot stick with them. Now, defensively, the Hornets, maybe this might be a high-scoring game. They're 28th in the league on defense. They give up 112.3 points per game. The Knicks, on the other hand, are giving up 110.3 points per game. So this might be a high-scoring game. We need to get this win, in my opinion. You know what I mean? We need to get this win. I don't know. Steph, your thoughts on this game real quick.
They'll be hungry, right? They won one game out of the last 6.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks should be hungry as well. My concern, though, is the guards. They got LaMelo Ball. I mean, he's not quick, but he can get to his spot. They got Rozier, and they got Ish Smith, right? I think he gets like 15 minutes a game. So I'm concerned about their guards. Miles Bridges is having a career year. Oubre is playing terrible. He's just really up and down and inefficient, and I see why the Knicks didn't go after him. It's going to be a tough game, Sam, but I got to be honest. If we play like we played today, we're going to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you. We play like this, we're going to lose. I tell you what, Kelly Oubre is up and down, but he would have played some defense for us.
Yeah.
Josh, your thoughts on this game?
Well, I'll be there. So myself,
That's right.
myself, Divine, Freezy, we're all going to be there. We got a suite for the game, so that should be fun. Hopefully, the Knicks don't, disappoint us while we're there in person watching. But we're gonna represent, keep it, and hold it down for MBK fam. You know what I'm saying? So that should be fun. I'm just looking forward to the Knicks just getting back on track. Thibodeau lighting the fire under them. Obviously, the Knicks are a better road team than they are a home team, so I think we'll have the advantage in that regard. But we'll see. I mean, after a performance like this, they better show up on Friday. They better.
They got to. They got to, without a doubt. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
My name is Kevin. I'm from Connecticut.
What's going on, Kevin?
Thank you guys for accepting the call. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys like and comment, guys, in the comment section. But I want to say one thing I've been noticing the last couple games is they always double in when they're going for like a 2-point when Giannis going in. My thing is, why double when the three is going to be open? And that's how they get open to shoot all these threes, and all these teams just killing us the same way. Tibbs got to figure something out, how to get the rotation going where we could stop trapping in the paint and just staying on man. If you get beat, you just get beat. What you guys think about that?
I mean, I think that is Thibodeau's strategy against the Bucks, right? They create this wall to prevent Giannis from penetrating into the lane. What the Knicks should be doing is scrambling out to those 3-point shooters, but they're just not getting there fast enough. And once you let somebody get comfortable, it's hard to shut it off. And you probably hear that from Tom Thibodeau in the postgame show. It's hard to shut it off once they start hitting shots. I do agree. We've got to figure out another style of defense besides just packing the paint and allowing those 3-point shooters to score or to shoot. Because right now, we are giving up 41 threes a game, and we're allowing teams to shoot 37% from the 3-point line.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's bad. 41 threes, and we're allowing them to shoot 37%. So last season, we gave up a lot of threes, but teams were shooting like 33% or less against us. This season, we're giving up 41 and letting them shoot 37%. And we're not going to win like that. There's no way that we win that way. I just can't see it.
Exactly. I do have another thing, too. I've noticed that when the starting five, right, because the second unit brought us back in the game, and I seen the energy, the chemistry they have. They just knock team out. When I'm watching the five, it's like they don't have no energy. It's like they not in the game. And another thing is, like, I could tell, like, Kemba not comfortable playing with Randall playing point forward because he's not having the ball much in his hand to penetrate or get the team open. Because when Randall get the ball, there's a lot of ISO, and then the offense gets stagnant. And so I want to know what you guys think about that, too, with Randall running point forward and the offense just so stagnant, everybody just standing in one spot just waiting for the ball, and then the shot clock just go out.
I mean, Kemba's the point guard out there on the floor. He's got to say, give me the basketball. I mean, we've seen times when Kemba has the ball at the top of the key and he clears people out so he can go. I mean, he's got to, like we were saying earlier, everybody got to put their big boy pants on, and let people do what they do. Let the new guys do what they do and stop worrying about if, this guy's taking over, that guy's taking over. Kemba's role is the point guard. Kemba's got to say, okay, I'm going to take control of this team as far as, running the point guard spot, running the team, making sure the offense, gets executed the correct way. Kemba's just got to step in and do it. Stop being a nice guy. We don't need a nice guy. We got enough nice guys on the team. Enough nice guys on the team. You know what I'm saying? He's just got to step in and be that leader that we need on the court, on the floor.
Right. Yeah, tonight was very frustrating. I could see it in Tibbs' face that he's going to get on them for that because he didn't put them back in the fourth quarter. I thought he was going to put back Randall in the game, but for him not to do that, I thank him for not doing that and let Obi play because I notice every time Obi's in the game, we move more faster and we get points on the board.
Yeah. Listen, down the stretch of the game, I was saying to myself, please don't put none of the starters back in. You know,
Right.
I was just begging. I was begging. Don't put any of the starters back in. Let these guys ride it out. I'm glad that he did that. You know, I'm glad he did. He let them ride it out.
Right.
And
Thank you guys for
hopefully it sends a
accepting
message.
my call.
Yeah,
God
hopefully.
bless you guys and keep up the show. I'm going to keep watching.
I appreciate
you. You guys be great.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Hopefully it sends a message to the starters too. Like, hey, you know what I mean? You guys got to come out and ball. The Charlotte Hornets, I just seen somebody in the chat say that the Charlotte Hornets, I don't remember who it was, say that the Charlotte Hornets are the third best three-point shooting team in the NBA, and that they are. They are shooting it at 37.9% from the three-point line. They take 36 threes per game. The Knicks are giving up 41 threes a game and allowing teams to shoot 37%. You know, this could spell disaster if the Knicks aren't playing good defense, man.
Right.
I hope not. I don't.
But you know what? Maybe we take these 3 losses and the front office has some urgency.
Yeah.
you know, to get something done.
Right. You know, it could spell disaster. You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I want to listen to Derrick Rose, man. You know, he one bright spot for the New York Knicks tonight is Derrick Rose. I'm still amazed at how well Derrick Rose knocks down the 3 now. Still amazed at how well he knocks down that 3. You know what I mean? You know, he's money from the 3-point line. Money from the 3-point line. If this is Derrick Rose after tonight's game, then we'll take a listen to IQ.
You're not happy because you don't get the wins tonight.
Yeah.
At the same time, how did your bench unit grow with the way that you were able to mount that kind of comeback and finish the game? Like, how will you guys be able to use that in a positive way moving forward?
Like I always say, I felt like we always had that chemistry since last year. When you play in the meaningful games, it helps with your chemistry, and we play off each other. You know, if Quick got it going, we're going to play off Quick. If AB, OB, whoever it is, we're going to play off the other person. And when you plan that way, you're able to get lost on the offensive end where you put so much pressure on them by pushing the ball. If they're not communicating, somebody's open. And that's how we play.
Derek, you guys this season given up a lot of threes, not necessarily just making just attempts. Do you feel like that's been an issue for you guys? Is that something that's been a focus?
No, the attempts is cool, but as long as you're contesting them, you're not going to shut or limit guys to under 30 or 23s. People force threes up sometimes, especially when you're dealing with great shooting teams. But it's all about contesting the shots. I think the percentage is like 15.8 when you contest in the league, and with our whole team knowing that no matter if the guy is open or you're right there, you got to jump and contest. And if you mess up, it's hard work and effort should make up for whatever mistake you done on that end of the ball with defense. So, I mean, it's the league. You're not going to make everybody miss, but as long as you give the effort, like some should give. I really don't know. I can't put a finger on it. Like I said, it's kind of hard processing it right now when, like, 4 points away, that's the only thing that's on my mind, you know what I mean? Like, being 4 points with, like, 3 or 4 minutes left. Like, man, gotta find a way, you know? But I can't put a finger on that.
Dirk, when you lose a heartbreaker like that, especially after the effort that you put in, you also know that the next game in Charlotte's coming. For the young guys who are going to take this loss hard, too, personally as well, how do you get them, right back on the right page for the next game that's coming?
You know, it's all about having amnesia. Tonight is going to hurt, of course, but normally after you look at film and you get a practice in or you get a workout in, it's on the back of your mind. Like you're not really thinking about it, and it's in the back of your mind. So tomorrow, after we look at film, be able to process and try to correct some of our mistakes. We got to go into Charlotte with the determination where they playing great. They're a young team. They like to get out and run. They shoot a lot of threes. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and we got to be able to withstand their runs because they can put points up on the board.
Mentioned over the course of the season, you guys not coming out with the right spirit, right edge. Be able to play on the case tonight, the
With-
first quarter, or the mindset was not there.
Yeah, we try to ease into games where we try to get a feel instead of being the aggressor, and a lot of times you have to be the aggressor. Let people know that you're there. But that's not only like the starting five. That's the bench coming in, playing lackadaisical, like nonchalant, and we picked it up late. But that's everybody. Like, we're not that good to give people points or give them confidence. Like, we got to come out and be the hardest playing team, and we got to learn soon. Like, it's not going to keep going win loss. Like, if we keep going this way, you never know how the outcome may be.
All right, next game. So,
I think Tibbs seemed a little more agitated after this loss. What was his message? You got that.
It was the same speech that he gave us before the game, where they're going to come out, they're the champ, they're going to come out with a different pace to the game. The way we beat them last time, it was bad. They felt bad about that, and the whole spiel about that, trying to get prep talk guys to play harder, and we got to learn sooner than later.
Let me ask you guys a question, and we're gonna get to a Bondi, tweeted in just a second, Josh. I saw that, but is Derrick Rose the best player on this team?
No.
You don't think so? What do you think, Steph?
I think Randall's the best player on this team, but I think Rose is playing the best right now.
I'll agree with that.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Just when I look at who's making buckets when we need them, Rose, to me, right now, is doing it more than Randall is. Regardless of who's scoring the most points per game, when crunch time is here and we need a bucket, I feel like I feel like I trust Rose a little bit more than I trust Randall in that situation.
Yeah.
That's why you say starter?
No, I say start him because Kemba's not getting the job done. If Kemba was coming out and giving us, 12 points, 6 assists every game, I guess he averages 12, but that's because it's, right now it's only been 12 games. But like if Kemba was coming out and just hooping, yeah, okay, this, here we go. This is where we're at. But I feel like Rose has a better feel of what the game needs at a specific time and understands, this is what we need. I'm going to come out and get this done. Yeah, and I'm not sure that Randall has that yet or understands that right now.
Well, Sam, I'll say this. Derrick Rose is a point guard, so naturally he's going to bring the ball up the floor. He's going to be able to make the decisions. I think anytime you see Julius Randle with the ball in his hands, it's the Knicks give it to him with not that much time on the shot clock, and he has to make a decision in less time. As far as what he's going to do with the basketball, teams have, they're going to try to double him or whatever the case may be, and then have him make that decision. I'm not trying to excuse his lackadaisical player, what have you, but I think it's a little bit easier for Derrick Rose to be that guy in those types of situations because he's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to have the ball in his hands earlier in the shot clock.
I mean, Randall does too.
No, not as much as him. Today, if you look at the game, a lot of times Kemba Walker will just be dribbling the ball, and then they'll just, they couldn't get anything going offensively. They'll give it to Randall with 7 seconds left to go on the shot clock, and then force Randall to either make a tough shot, pass it out, and other guy will miss the shot or whatever the case may be. Randall doesn't have the ball in his hands early in the shot clock, not like it was in the beginning. You know, the Knicks are just not executing any offensive plays, and they depend on isolation late in the clock. It's not early in the clock like it was last year.
Well, then, I mean, listen, if Randall is the guy, then he can go up and say, give me the basketball. I need it. I'm going to score. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
That's true.
Right? You know, he can go demand it. I mean, you know, and maybe right now there's just a lot of, I don't want to say dysfunction with the team. I think the culture is still there, but just not, you know, maybe they're just not clicking yet. I don't know. We'll see. According to Steph Bondy, I'll bring this on over here right now. According to Steph Bondy, no starters were made available in press conference after this game. No starters were made available. And he says Tom Thibodeau isn't buying that the Knicks starters need more time to gel. He said that's a bunch of bullshit.
I love it.
A bunch of bull. They don't need time to gel.
Wow.
That's some serious words. Serious words.
Yeah. Tibbs is competitive too, you know.
That's some serious words. So clearly he doesn't like what he's seeing from the starters. And, you know, maybe that tells you something about, you know, what he's thinking going forward with the starting unit. I don't know. None of them were made available, you know, for post-game press conferences. You know, that could be the New York Knicks just saying, no, we don't want to subject them to this line of questioning. Or it could be that, hey, you know, you guys don't deserve to go up there. Go take a seat. You know, we'll let the bench come out there since they got us back in the game. I don't know. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a listen to IQ since IQ was made available. Let's take a listen to IQ.
Our chemistry is really high. You know, we pretty much have the same second unit since last year. So that's 2 years, a full summer of being together. So we know where where we like the ball. Our defensive connection is really high. So we just, you know, we have a lot of chemistry together.
The comeback the other night in Milwaukee helps for you knowing you come back again here?
Milwaukee's a really good team. You know, we know we got to fight every time we play them. We know it's going to be a dog fight. But really, no matter who we play, if we down, you know, we always got that belief that we can come back. I feel like our guys, you know, fought really hard tonight. You know, we just couldn't get over the hump. So just got to get ready for the next one.
Can you put your finger on why you guys are 5-1 on the road and struggling here?
I have no idea. Just how it is sometimes, you know. Like I always say, though, it's a long season. It's a small sample size of what's going to be in an 82-game season. So it's really too early to, you know, put any explanations on if we're a home team or a road team. So.
And your shots weren't season or so, and I know you said you weren't worried about it at all. Obviously, that's changed the last 3, 4, 5 games. Is anything different for you, or are the shots just falling?
No, I try to do the same thing day in and day out, which is, you know, trust God, read my Bible, make sure that I'm working hard on my craft. My teammates are finding me in great spots. They had been finding me in great spots. The ball just wasn't going in the hoop. So nothing changes for me. Try to do the same thing day in and day out and just trust in my work and trust God.
The bench that was hurting you guys earlier in the third.
Say that one more time.
If you see anything from the bench that was really hurting you guys earlier in the third before you guys came in?
I think honestly we had just our bench unit had just, and our starters were doing good. Our energy wasn't as high as it needed to be, and sometimes our starters lift us up when our bench is not doing good. So that's why you have a team, so everybody can pick each other up. And we just try to be there for the starters tonight, and I'm sure the starters will bring it, you know, against Charlotte. So that's what the team is for. When they got it, you know, we got to bring it, and when we don't bring it, they bring it. So that's what the team is for.
You guys were on the Tibbs like you out there for a very extended period of time. I mean, normally you sub out, 7-minute marker, 6-minute marker. Are you at all? What's your mindset when it gets down to 5 and 4 minutes and you guys are still out there?
My mindset is pretty much the same. Individually, for me, it's always the same. Is if I'm coming out at 6 or 7, I try whatever time I get, I try to play hard and do what my team needs me to do it to help the team. And I try to make sure that my plus minus is always good when I go out on the floor. As a team, I think that, and our bench guys, I think we feel the same as a team, as a bench unit. We just trying to help, the starters when they get back. If we're down, we want to come back and help them get into the game. And if we're up already, we want to try to keep the lead. So I think that's our mindset as a group as well.
Is that communicated to you at all at the moment? Like, hey, you guys are going to stay out there, or you just keep playing?
Nah, I think Coach Tibbs, he has a really good feel of when, to go to the starters or when to just leave us in when we're hot. So, that's just really on Coach Tibbs.
Thanks, bro.
All right, that's IQ, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, if you want to see more videos from the New York Knicks, just head to their YouTube page. The link is in the description of this video, and I'll make sure I put it in the YouTube chat as well. Post-game interviews from Tom Thibodeau, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, everybody. Make sure you go over there, check it. They got some other videos up that I know that you'll enjoy because you're Knicks fans. You're Knicks fans. IQ, sticking up for his starting group, said they were playing well. He was lying. They weren't playing well at all. They weren't playing good. Big shout out to Frank. He said, salute to the channel. I'm from China and watched all your shows since Rose returned to the Knicks. Love your professional opinions from a coach's perspective. Frank, thank you. We appreciate your support without a doubt. Thank you for always watching us and sticking with us. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
This is Big Mac from the Bronx.
Hey, what's going on, Big Mac? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, except for I'm a little down over the current situation with our Knicks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm down over it as well. You know what I mean? I think we're all down over it right now.
I believe what the Knicks really need to do is make a change in the starting 5. Our biggest problem seems to me to be at the center position because all 3 of our guys have been injured in the first 10, 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no real continuity. At one game, you get some rebounding out of Robinson. The next game, he disappears. Then when you have Noel in, he's great on defense, but he's a liability in offense. He can't catch a pass from one of his own men 5 feet away.
Right.
So basically what I'm saying is we need to make some changes. Thibodeau's defense is fine. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have the speed of foot in our starting unit to get out to these shooters, and they're killing us. I think what we need to do at some point is either get somebody faster or make a change in the starting lineup, like maybe put Kimber on the bench for a minute or two and let either quickly start to give us a little more speed, and what we have to do is limit our dribbling. I think the starting 5 dribbles the ball too much, including Mr. Randall.
Mm-hmm.
We need to pass the ball around the perimeter and look for our shots that way. And then maybe with less dribbling, we may be in position when the ball goes off the basket, comes off the rim if they miss, to be in better position on defense and get ourselves a running start on offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of things we can do. We'll see what, look, it's clear that Tom Thibodeau's upset with the starters. We'll see if he decides to do anything. And he should be. We'll see if he decides to do anything about the starting group. I don't think we'll see anything right now. I think he's going to give him a little bit of time, but we will see. We will see. I'm interested to hear his full press conference. It's not available right now, but I'm interested to hear the full thing and what he had to say. Because I know he lit into the team in the locker room, and that's one of the reasons why I do believe they'll come out with some fire against Charlotte. I'm just hoping it's going to be enough.
I do too, and I hope at some point we get a couple of minutes out of these kids like Deuce and Grimes. I don't think, and even Knox, for that matter, because he can hit an open shot.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what his defense is. His defense can't be much worse than Fournier's playing at the moment.
You might be right about that.
So we'll wait and see. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm just praying that we can turn it around, because at this point, when everybody was talking about getting 50 wins, we may be lucky to make it into the top 10 and even make the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Listen, we know as Knicks fans, when we lose, the world is ending. When we win, we feel like, okay, they can do this every night. We'll see. We catch a lot of flack from a lot of people because even when we win, we're still pointing out holes in the team. You know what I mean? So we catch flack. Oh, we won a game and all you guys are is negative. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to be negative. We're just trying to prepare you so that when you see some of these holes happen in the game, you say, well, okay, I expected that.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, hopefully it'll change.
Yeah, hopefully it will.
I still haven't given up my fandom or my hope.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Never giving it up. Not like that dude a couple years ago who became a Lakers fan, or Max Kellerman who became a Lakers fan or whatever. Nah, we're not doing that.
I hear you.
We're not doing that. Appreciate you,
We'll
man.
improve. We can't give up the faith.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Appreciate you, Big Mac. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Have a nice night.
Have a good night.
Ciao.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to head up out of here, man. I wasn't able to do shoot around yesterday, but I am going to be able to do the shoot around tomorrow. So, I got some film and some things that I want to break down, just looking at the Knicks play. So I'm looking forward to doing the shoot around tomorrow. Steph, any last words before we get out of here?
No, I think this team is going to be up and down throughout the season until there's some personnel changes. So I'll be right there, Friday watching them, looking for Josh in the crowd.
Yeah.
I'll be in a tweet. I'll be somewhere in the tweet.
That's right.
He got big boy money. Gonna be in the suite. And Big Freezy. Josh, any last words?
Hopefully things get better. Looking for this team to make some sort of change. Not drastic, but just enough to, try to light another spark under this team. Kimba has to play better, or you got to sit him down. Same with Fournier. They got to play better. Simple as that. I don't see the net positive there. And shout out to all the veterans out there. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. So, good luck on your day. Go get all the free food that every restaurant is offering. And I'll be right out there with you because I'm definitely on you tomorrow. So. Happy Vets Day.
Yeah, no, definitely, without a doubt, man. Thank you to all of our veterans out there. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for your service. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head up out of here. I will catch you tomorrow. Look for the notification. And, hey, you know what? This postgame is not sponsored by anybody. The shoot around is, the pregame show is, but the postgame show isn't. So if you're interested, you see that sign? It says your logo here. You can put your logo right there. Just email me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put my email in the chat. You can email me if you got any kind of interest whatsoever, or if you have any other ideas. Talk to me. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you tomorrow. Spread love. We out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Nick.